So it looks like the theories that that there's some foul play that was entered the last episode of Dragon Ball Super would turn out to be 100% accurate, as well as the what we found out in this episode of Dragon Ball Super, with Frost's true colours revealed. I do have a couple of issues with this episode. I'll get into it in a minute, but let's start off from the top. Goku gets knocked out. Questionable, and I hate to say I told you so, but because of the backlash in the fan base, I knew that what happened last week was the way they portrayed Goku, and that was a mistake. It made no sense for Goku not to hold back, and even Beerus called him out and said, what the hell's up? You should have taken this more seriously. Well, Goku said, what can you do? Fair enough, I have no problem with Goku losing, although I kind of question why he didn't hold back. But then we get to, so Piccolo's the next one to fight Frost, and I like how Piccolo's like asks Goku, what are my chances? Do I have a chance of beating Frost? And Goku's like, nope. But and this is why Piccolo is one of my top 4 characters, because even though people were putting him down, he's still putting the work. And yes, maybe Frost did have overpowered him, but sometimes that's what it equals to the fight. We've seen this before, and Piccolo kind of reminds me of Shikamaru from Naruto. He may not be the most strongest, but when it comes to be dependable and strategizing and being useful to others, he puts in the work. So, charges up the special beam cannon. People are calling that a weakness, but this is the clever thing about Piccolo. He uses his weakness to draw in Frost, and actually, he dodges some of Frost's. I think they're called life beams. They have to change that to death beams anyway, because Frost turned out to be a tyrant after all. And I was kind of surprised that Frost was the one that orchestrated the assault on his own empire. I thought it was but whatever. But ultimately, when Frost got in the hip, it looked like Piccolo was going to knock out of bounds, but actually Piccolo uses extends his arm to wrap Frost, and he couldn't go anywhere. And this is why I said this was a mistake last week. Not only the fact that Goku didn't, Goku hold back, but also the fact they haven't showcased the Universe 6 fighters as a threat. They haven't, and to be honest, Frost right now is a scrub, because the only reason he beat Piccolo is because of that needle in his arm that poisoned Piccolo and Goku last episode. That made him drowsy, and if that hit Frost, that would have been basically a one-hit KO. So let me rephrase that. One of the weakest people that people thought had no chance of winning was about to beat Frost, but then Frost maneuvers his arm. Piccolo obviously gets affected by this. He gets blasted through the chest. It's basically done. But then Jacko steps up. No, there's something fishy going on. And Vegeta says, he confirms that by saying, check him. And when he gets discovered that there's a needle on his arm, it looks like it is a weapon, but it's a modified weapon. And Frost says, yes, I used that intentionally to poison my opponent, revealing his true nature, of course. But then he was disqualified. But then here comes the crazy thing, right? And this is why I'm glad Sharper actually did something which he should have done, is acted like his god of destruction. He got pissed off. He was going to destroy Frost for deceiving him in that. And even Vara said that was his true nature. And Vegeta was like, no, I'm going to I'm going to take care of it. But the problem I have is this. Okay. Up until now, I've had no problems with the tournament. But as a structure of the tournament, this episode turned into a clusterfuck. Because, and I heard a couple of comments, and I've heard Sawyer's 7 Majors video about how he saw the tournament, and I agree. It has not felt like a tournament at all. To the point where, Piccolo gets knocked down, but Frost gets disqualified. Vegeta steps in, but then says, no, bring Frost back so I can deal with him. Even though technically Piccolo won that fight. What the fuck? And don't get me wrong, I'm a Vegeta fan, okay? Okay, Vegeta, Beerus, Goku, and Piccolo are my favourite characters in Dragon Ball, period. But that made absolutely no sense when you consider that the Earth's at stake. So I do have to question that, much like Goku holding back was a mistake because he didn't showcase Frost or Universe 6 fighters as of right now to a threat. In fact, the only person that could pose a threat, or maybe a threat, is that Hit guy. And even then, it's like Vegeta's a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. So unless he's out of this world, and even you have Monaco out there, and even then, it's like he's too much of a wild card. Right now, there's Boo was a complete letdown. Goku held back and was completely pushed aside in this. And then Piccolo, I heard the comments and I agree, kind of got screwed at the end. But you know, like I said, I'm not going to hold that because as much as I wanted Piccolo to actually get a spotlight, I also think that Vegeta definitely just as much deserves a spotlight. And think about this. Now, Vegeta's the one, not Goku. Vegeta's the one to actually be... He's technically the only representative of the C Fighters left on the Universe 7 team that's actually defending the Earth, technically. I mean, Monaco's there, but he's basically on the team. He's not defending the Earth. So he's just there because Beerus wanted him on the team. So that is a twist, and it's, you know, it's not Goku, it's not Gohan, it's Vegeta that's going to put in the work. My question is this though. I mean, obviously Vegeta is going to wipe the floor with Frost Ass, that's obvious. But my question is this: if that happens, and obviously Vegeta cannot kill Frost because of tournament rules, unless they decide to change that as well. But and given the title of next week's episode and the fact that Vegeta goes to Super Saiyan, it's basically a guarantee Vegeta is going to beat the fuck out of Frost. That's obvious. But also the title that... unless somebody steps in, and this is what concerns me, if somebody destroys Frost before Vegeta gets the chance to actually take Frost out, or knock him out of the tournament, and he was already knocked out of the tournament. So if that happens, and somebody interferes, because remember, we all wanted Vegeta to be the one to take out Frieza in the last arc, and he was kind of shitted on by what happened with the Frieza blowing up the planet and then Goku coming in to save the day. People were pissed after that. So if they do that again, but this time comes from the outside, and I got the feeling, I hope this doesn't happen, but I get the feeling that somebody's going to step in and destroy Frost before Vegeta gets the chance to knock him out at the tournament. If that happens, you're going to get a rant from me, because what they've done so far has been a clusterfuck. In terms of quality fights, we haven't seen too much. And in terms of a tournament, it's not really resembles a tournament in my opinion. But if the only way they can make up for this is Vegeta, the most well-developed character in Dragon Ball Super by far. Number 2 is Beerus, but they've got to portray Vegeta now, because, and keep in mind, the spotlight is kind of on Vegeta, so I don't know. And there's another thing. Do you think Vegeta's going to have to go Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan in this tournament? Or, and I'm going to make a theory about this in a minute, but, you know, I don't see Vegeta having a problem, with the exception of Hit and maybe K, but even then it's like, unless he was lying about not being able to go Super Saiyan or know what Super Saiyan is, I don't see him having too much of a difficulty. Like I said, I hope that Hit guy turns out to be something else, because if nothing else, we want to see Vegeta in a real fight. So let me do, and here's the theory I'm going to make right now. Why haven't Goku and Vegeta gone Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan? And hear me out, okay? This is just a theory. I don't want people slandering me because, such and such. Remember back in episode 9 when Beerus was taking on Vegeta? Vegeta was going to put... and people theorized because of the title that Vegeta might actually go Super Saiyan 3, even though it wasn't in the manga or the anime. But that's changed now because the anime is ahead of the manga. And number 2, that was before Vegeta went Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Now, take the consideration that he's pretty much on par with Goku. He has to be, because they just spent 3 years training, and that's why I said this is a missed opportunity for not showcasing Goku. But this is the theory I'm having. If they're not showcasing Goku, and why are they only going Super Saiyan is beyond me, because it's a chance to showcase how strong they are, because they have to match up at some point to Beerus and Sharper, etc. But what if, and remember, like I said, 3 years of training, and one of the most fan requested moments that's never happened is Vegeta going Super Saiyan 3. Hear me out. I know people say, oh, it's never going to happen, it's impossible. But there is the potential if you think about it. And technically, and I know people say, oh, well, that was never revealed at the end of Dragon Ball Z. Yes, this takes place inside the time skip before the end of Dragon Ball Z. But you have to remember something. Technically, Goku and Vegeta are already Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans. So that should be proof enough of itself that they can have power-ups, but not have showcased it at the end of Dragon Ball Z. So that's number 2. Number 3 is we've heard some articles about Akira Toriyama saying how Vegeta is be given the spotlight, and kind of it was to a certain extent, but he wasn't given a mental role because he was never the one to deliver the final blow to Frieza. But from a fan perspective and from a story perspective, it would be a nice touch if Vegeta, if he did go Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan by the end of this, if Vegeta somehow went Super Saiyan 3 within the next couple of episodes. And now I'm not saying he's going to go Super Saiyan 3 against Frost, because that's not necessary. He's going to wipe the. I think going base on him, he could probably wipe the floor with him. But I do think it would be a nice touch, and the fact that they're showcasing the spotlight right now on Vegeta, unless something majorly fucks up, then I don't see why there's a problem in that. But like I said, it's a theory, so it's not guaranteed to happen. It's slim chance, but like I said, there is the potential for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. One more thing I want to point out is Piccolo put in the work, Vegeta at the end, acting badass as always. By the way, that special being cannon that he fired that broke the barrier, I have a question. Is that kind of like the perimeter of where the tournament takes place? Because if that can that be used as ring out? Remember the Overworld tournament where you had the seal at the top of the universe or the galaxy or what? And both Pycon and Goku went ring out. So maybe that'll be a plot device. I don't know. I'd be just rambling on and on. Anyway, I'm going to end this right now. So let me know your thoughts down below. Leave the thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.